Good afternoon, CFM, and welcome to a Friday workout. We're gonna have some practice time today after we lift some heavy objects. So let's begin with the warm up, 2 rounds through. Start with some jumping jacks. After the jumping jacks, we're gonna get 5 reps of seal press to down dog, right? So you should go nice and slow here, just a good stretch, seal press, and then go from extension of the back into neutral and then some flexion, back to that down dog, and then back to the seal press. So we're just switching back and forth between those 2 positions. And again, don't rush those. We're using your back right out of the gate today. So we're trying to stretch and warm up the muscles around the spine, the abdominals, and the hips when we do that, okay? Next, 6 reps with a PVC pipe. Got a little complex for you. Start with it behind the neck. We're gonna do a good morning squat. So in this one, we start in our squat with stance, but we're gonna perform the hinge movement of the good morning. And then from here, keep the bar in place and sit down to the bottom of the squat. And then we're gonna do a SATS press, which is pressing straight up, and then pass through to the back, to the front, and back behind the neck. All right, so good morning, squat, SATS press, pass through, okay? Get that for 6 reps. Then we're gonna do our 5-way hip circuit for 8 reps each. So on one side, we're gonna do 5 exercises, 8 reps each, but the same position for the hip in it. So in this side lying position, I've got one arm out for balance. I'm gonna pull the top leg back, and then I'm gonna point the top toe down. And I'm gonna try to keep that position the whole time. So I'm sort of applying a little bit of internal torque to my leg. And in this position, I'm gonna start with leg raises for 8, and then forward circles for 8, backward circles for 8, big leg swings for 8, and then finish with bicycle pedals for 8. Okay, so a total of 40. Your booty and your rotators and your hip should all be screaming at you by the time you wanna flip over and do it on the other side, right? Make sure you get all of those. And then after that, we'll move to our warm-up set of deadlifts. So think like empty bar on the first round, maybe 30-40% on the second round. And then if you wanna throw in an additional round in between this and the actual strength training sets that we will do, that is totally fine. Our set is built on the 5s through the 3s, so we're in the lower end of our rep range, so moving up towards the higher end of our strength range, our percentage range. So hitting like a 90% for a triple would be pretty sweet for today. But as always, we put our emphasis on using good technique and using high effort. And wherever that lands you in the percentage range, just take it, okay? So some days you're gonna be above your percentages, other days you'll be below your percentages, but if we're in that relative target, anywhere above that 80% range is usually sufficient for building strength, okay? All right, after that, we have a paced out skill and conditioning workout. So there is a little bit of metabolic conditioning in this, but there's also a little bit of skill and some accessory. So we got 3 exercises in an every minute on the minute set for 15 minutes. So it means you're gonna get 5 reps through, or 5 sets through each exercise. The first one is just your basic slam ball. So nothing fancy here, 16 reps on the first minute. Good bracing in the spine, all the way overhead with arms straight. Slam and catch. Try to make your body go down low so that you can catch that ball without it bouncing a second time. So think the slam ball, this isn't the whole slam ball, that's only half the slam ball. The full slam ball is pulling it towards the earth and then catching it again, all right? Next one is gonna be toes to bar, or whatever our progression work is for toes to bar. So my priority for this is good grip, good shoulder tension, and good rhythm on the bar, right? So even if we're only doing, so I say only, but this is pretty tough, right? Our hanging knee raise, but I'm using the kipping rhythm. If you can start to get higher, right, and go leg straight for some of it, or even like kick towards the bar, those are great movements. They don't have to be the full toes to bar movement in order to make progress towards the toes to bar movement. And in fact, the more you practice bad rhythm, the more you're gonna get good at bad rhythm. And that's the movement pattern your body's going to remember. And it's the movement pattern that's gonna be ingrained in your patterning system, right? So the less of those bad reps you practice, the better off you're gonna be, right? And then obviously lying leg raise or some other type of abdominal work would be a good substitute for this if for some reason hanging is not on the list of menu options for you today. Last one is our accessory work. I want to use the slam ball if you can to do a set of 6 reps on each leg of a front foot elevated split squat. So take a nice medium length stance with distance between your feet laterally so that you have good balance. And now I'm trying to push my knee as far forward as I can get it of my foot. All right, so make sure the heel doesn't come off of the plate that you're using, and make sure that we're not going up and down, we're going forward and backward on this movement. And I have the slam ball for some extra resistance if I want to use it. And that is it. So the 6 and 6 with the front foot elevated split squat is probably gonna be the ones you gotta hustle a little bit on, because it can tend to be a slower movement pace. So make sure you're going quick enough to get through all 12 of those reps in the minute, and then get back to the slam balls. And that's it for today. I hope this is a good Friday send off for you. We've got a fun one coming on Saturday, and I'll see you guys there.